Diane Ladd, a name spoken with warmth, admiration, and respect across the world of film. A woman whose talent didn't just appear, it grew, it fought, it endured. Today we look back at her journey, from her early beginnings in Mississippi, to the height of her Hollywood legacy, to the battles she faced behind the scenes, and the final chapter of her remarkable life. This is the story of Diane Ladd. Diane Ladd was born on November 29, 1935 in the city of Meridian, Mississippi, a place of warm summers, deep family roots, and a culture where storytelling lives in every porch conversation. Her parents were Mary Bernadette and Preston Paul Ladner. Her father was a veterinarian and her mother an actress. From the very beginning, performance was in her blood. She grew up surrounded by Southern traditions, church gatherings, family dinners, and the sound of blues music floating through town. Yet inside her was something more. A curiosity, a spark, a yearning for expression. As a child, she was drawn to the stage, not for attention, but because storytelling felt like home. Diane's childhood was not without pain. When she was still young, she lost her father in a tragic drowning accident, an event that would shape her life forever. Loss, especially early loss, can harden some hearts. But for Diane, it deepened her empathy. It gave her an emotional intelligence that later radiated through every role she ever played. She learned early that life is fragile, and because of that, every moment must matter. After high school, Diane left Mississippi to study acting. She was determined, not because she expected fame, but because she believed storytelling could heal both herself and others. She studied acting in New York City, a world very different from quiet Mississippi. Concrete sidewalks replaced dirt roads, horns replaced songbirds. The pace was faster, louder, relentless. But Diane didn't break, she adapted. She worked small theater roles, took acting classes, and absorbed every lesson like water to dry soil. She learned discipline, technique, emotion control, and how to build the character from the inside out. This was where Diane Ladd began to become an artist. By the late 1950s and early 1960s, Diane moved into television and film roles. At first, they were small parts, side characters, one-scene appearances, but something about her stood out, not her voice, not her looks, but the truth she brought to her performances. She felt real even when the story wasn't. Audiences didn't just watch Diane Ladd, they believed her. Marriage, motherhood, and a Hollywood first. In 1960, Diane married fellow actor Bruce Dern. Together, they had a daughter, one who would follow in Diane's footsteps, Laura Dern. Yes, the Laura Dern we know today. Star of Jurassic Park, Big Little Lies, Marriage Story, and more. But life for Diane during these years was not all lights and cameras. Her marriage to Bruce Dern was filled with passion, ambitions, and struggles. The pressures of the industry pull many marriages apart, and theirs was no exception. They eventually divorced, but they remained connected through something much deeper than success or failure, and their shared love of storytelling. Even years later, Diane and Laura would become one of Hollywood's most iconic mother-daughter acting duos. The year was 1974. Diane Ladd took on a role that would change everything. Flo, in the film Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, directed by Martin Scorsese. Flo was loud. She was bold. She was unfiltered. She was funny. She was real. Diane didn't play Flo, she became her. The performance was so powerful that it earned Diane an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. This was her arrival, her declaration, her place in cinema secured. Not through image, not through fame, but through skill. The 1970s and 1980s, a working actress in her prime. Over the next 2 decades, Diane Ladd built a career most actors only dream of. Not by chasing popularity, but by choosing meaningful roles. Films, theater, television, she did it all. Not for fame, but because she loved the craft. She took roles that challenged her, roles that scared her, roles that asked her to go deeper. And every time, she did. Her collaborators described her as a performer who acts with her heart first. Someone who feels every emotion she portrays. A presence you never forget. Diane Ladd was not just good, she was true. And truth is unforgettable. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, Diane Ladd had become a familiar presence in American film and television. Not flashy, not loud, not manufactured. She had something much rarer: authenticity. She didn't act for fame, she acted to tell the truth. And because of that, audiences connected with her on a deeper level. But even as her career rose, life continued to test her. The loss that reshaped her life forever. Before the world fully knew Diane Ladd as the powerhouse performer she would become, she experienced a heartbreak so deep it would change her forever. She and Bruce Dern had a second daughter, named Diane Elizabeth, their youngest child. Tragically, at just 18 months old, the child died in a drowning accident. The grief was unimaginable. It was the kind of pain that doesn't fade, it reshapes you. In interviews years later, Diane said this loss awakened something in her. A fire, a need to live fully, because she knew life could disappear without warning. This tragedy influenced how she acted, how she spoke, how she loved, how she raised her surviving daughter, Laura. It added depth and vulnerability to every character she ever touched. A mother and daughter rising together. As Laura Dern grew older, it became clear. She was born for the screen, just like her mother. But Diane never pushed her. Instead, she taught her not how to act, but how to feel, how to listen, how to breathe, how to build a character from the inside out. Their relationship was something rare in Hollywood, a bond built on emotional truth rather than red carpets and fame. And eventually the world would get to see it too. The year was 1990. Director David Lynch cast Diane Ladd and her daughter, Laura Dern, in a film together. Wild at heart, Diane played the explosive, unpredictable Marietta Fortune. A performance so bold, so intense, and so unforgettable that it earned her another Academy Award nomination. This was historic. Diane Ladd and her daughter Laura Dern became the first mother and daughter in history to be nominated for Oscars for the same film, a moment etched in film history forever. And their bond on screen and off became iconic. While many actors are known for one type of role, Diane refused to be put in a box. She played strong women, broken women, loving mothers, ruthless characters, quiet hearts, loud chaos, and everything in between. Then in 2018, everything changed. Diane Ladd developed a severe lung condition after inhaling pesticide along a roadside near her home. Doctors told her she had 6 months to live. 6 months. But Diane refused to accept that. Her daughter Laura Dern refused too. Slowly, miraculously, Diane recovered. Doctors called it unbelievable. She called it grace. Her survival was not just physical. It was emotional, spiritual, and human. After surviving an illness that nearly ended her life, Diane Ladd entered a new chapter, one defined not by ambition, but by purpose. She had been given time that doctors believed she would never have, and she chose to use that time wisely. She taught, she mentored, she created, she cherished, and she loved more deeply than ever before. Many actors slow down with age. Diane did not. In her 70s and 80s, she remained active in film and television, not because she needed to, but because acting was as natural to her as breathing. She joined the cast of the Hallmark drama Chesapeake Shores, where she played the family matriarch Nell O'Brien. Her presence on that show was special, warm, grounded, and wise. Millions of viewers found comfort in her character because she didn't pretend to be a loving grandmother. When Diane walked into a room, the whole set slowed down. She carried history with her, you could feel it. After years of working, creating, and loving deeply, her body finally began to slow. Her lungs, once damaged, had fought longer than anyone believed possible. And those extra years she was given, she filled them fully. She spent time with her family, with her grandchildren, with her daughter Laura. She walked, she talked, she laughed, she remembered. Diane Ladd died in her house with her daughter sitting close to her. She was 89 years old. There was no scandal, no chaos and no tragic end. She passed the way she lived with grace. For many, it felt like losing a familiar voice, a presence we didn't always see, but always felt. Her daughter Laura Dern expressed her grief with both heartbreak and gratitude, saying that her mother was a force of life, a teacher, a warrior of compassion, and the greatest mother I could have ever asked for. Their bond, which had already inspired millions, now took on new meaning. Laura did not just lose her mother. She lost her friend, her creative partner, her soulmate in storytelling. Hollywood responded with admiration and love. Actors she had worked with spoke about her generosity. Directors spoke about her dedication. Students she coached spoke about how she changed their lives. Diane Ladd leaves us a portfolio of unforgettable performances, a legacy of emotional honesty, a blueprint for compassionate storytelling, a mother-daughter relationship that inspired millions. And beyond all of that, she leaves behind lessons about love, about loss, about courage, about forgiveness, about the preciousness of time. Her life reminds us no matter how difficult the journey, there is always meaning to be made, always something to learn, always something to give. And now, her story lives on in the hearts of those she touched on screen and off. May we remember her not for her passing, but for her presence, a presence that was warm, gentle, real, and true. Diane Ladd, 1935 to 2025, a legacy that will never fade. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and share. May her soul rest in peace. Amen.